1.5 Baby Veronica Sidebar. USA 3 government systems: federal, state, and Native American. Legacy of federal law granting Native American Indian tribes legal heightened rights is a direct result of prior federal treaties with foreign Native American tribes during America's so-called Manifest Destiny territorial expansionist era in the 18th and 19th centuries. Manifest Destiny is the American doctrine that by might of arms and right of modern civilization, the United States is divinely ordained to rule the North American realms spanning the Atlantic to the Pacific Oceans. These heightened Indian rights is a legal euphemism that in certain cases, Native American tribes command more constitutional rights than non-Native American citizens. This evolution involved nearly 150 years of armed conflict with Native American tribes, from 1776 American Revolutionary Era with the Iroquois Confederacy in northern Appalachia region to 1924 Posse War in Utah against the Ute and Paiute Indian tribes. To be fair, it should be noted that U.S. federal regime conducted wars against Indian tribes when necessary, such as open warfare with the Sioux tribes of American Midwest Plains, Comanches of Texas, and Apaches of Southwest regions to protect American farm estates and homesteaders. These are typical social political commentaries we appreciate growing up watching American Western action TV series, such as Gunsmoke or Bonanza. This is way before CAT or SAT TV and was standard rabbit ear open airwave TV. U.S. also forged treaties with Indian tribes when applicable, such as demarcating territories with Cherokee tribe in the Carolinas, and enacted commercial land purchases when opportune, such as with the Kickapoo tribe of western Wisconsin when they overhunted buffalo population and, being nomadic in nature, had to move on to greener pastures. Americans saw a commercial opportunity to purchase voluntarily vacated and abandoned land, and voila, western boundary of Wisconsin state was legally secured from future foreign encroachment reprisals, thus advancing frontier homestead settlements. By foreign, I mean Native American Indian tribes were considered foreign entities incorporated within territorial integrity of the United States, yet legally not American citizens, thus was interacted with treaties, not federal statutes. This legal status would later change by the 20th century. Historically, this interaction is much akin to the Roman Empire incorporating Germanic barbarian tribes within its imperial realm, such as the Alemanni, the Goth, and yet they were not legally Roman citizens until after the 3rd century. Given that Native American tribes were defined as foreign sovereign entities, federal government interacted with them via treaty rights. Thus, Native American tribes interacted only with the federal and not state government, since sole power of foreign liaison is vested with the federal and not state. When Native American tribes were granted U.S. citizenship in 1924, federal government created domestic cabinet level posts U.S. Bureau of Indian Affairs to interact with federally recognized tribes. Hence, that is why Indian tribes no longer considered foreign nations, thus no longer deal with the U.S. State Department. Also, by federal recognition, I mean not any Johnny-come-lately Indian tribe can assert its own identity and demand federal recognition. The tribe must secure mutual federal acknowledgement and permission before any recognition is vested. In addition, on distribution map in the presentation, Native American tribes were conveyed willingly or unwillingly into federal mandated reservation system, mostly in western regions of the United States beyond the Mississippi River, a direct result of centuries-long American Indian frontier wars. So, to be fair, the 20-year-long anti-jihad Islamist war we undertook in Afghanistan is not America's longest war with a, quote, foreign enemy. It is right here in our own backyard, the 95 years long Indian frontier wars. Native American tribes are legally ward of the federal government, classified as domestic dependent nations. That is, the federal regime is legally responsible for their safety and security from any violence or pogroms from American settlers or from other rival Indian tribes. It is an undisputed fact, long before the white man ever came to the Americas, Indian tribes conducted intercidal warfare among each other for possession of land, hunting and grazing rights, such as the Oneidas tribal warfare against the Choctaws located in modern-era Arkansas and Texas regions, human slave trafficking, such as the Comanches, and forcible marriages with tribes they conquered. It is not part of any PC narrative, but it is a raw, material, historical facts ready for anyone to self-research, review, interpret, and validate. Not to be always dark and gloomy, though, something humorous. The prior mentioned Choctaws Indian tribe claimed to fame was their Indian war cry, Yahoo! As they charged into enemy ranks, which was then borrowed and adopted by 19th century American cowboys as some celebratory proclamation. Evolved into modern era is our famed free email and internet search engine services. By 1870s, the West was won, to use a 19th century social political commentary. Major Indian wars ended. Native Americans either willingly moved into reservation systems or were militarily conquered and forcibly transported there. U.S. now commanded North American territories from sea to shining sea, to use a political tagline of that era. Thus, by 1871, all federal treaty making with Native American tribes ended. There is no need to have formal treaties with ones you already defeated and vanquished in battle. Think about it. In World War II, did U.S. establish treaties with Imperial Japan or Nazi Germany once they formally surrendered? Of course not. But Native American tribes were still considered foreign legal entities that permanently resided within the United States. It was not until 1924 all Native Americans were formally granted U.S. citizenship, thus now being first-tier legal Americans, contrast to second-tier legal immigrants and third-tier illegal aliens, refugees, or TPA status folks. Native Americans are now interactive with federal statutory regime and judicial court precedents. Therefore, In this regard, U.S. Supreme Court has ruled, circa 100 years past, that U.S. Congress commands the sole authority to decide whether to continue or terminate the federal ward reservation system with all Native American tribes. Because the High Court has ruled beforehand, the last sovereign will must command in our republic. That is, the most current elected members of Congress, embodied the consent and will of the American people, will decide current and future of Native Americans in this intricate relationship with the federal government. Not to be harsh, just objective pragmatist, Native American tribes can input their persuasive opinions of their future, but it is the Congress that commands sole power and authority to decide their future. If the federal ward reservation system is ended, then all property vests back to Native American as private property. And from that point onwards, they will have to interact with both federal and state authorities, such as property taxation, gambling, tobacco sales, and other civil and criminal complaints, etc. Such is the rigors of our American constitutional republic. As a final corollary to this Native American legacy, federal ICWA, the Indian Child Welfare Act of 1978, is still being constitutionally challenged in court, such as the 2022 Texas Native American child adoption case. Sooner or later, U.S. Supreme Court will have to make an updated modern decision, in that we are all equal under the law, yet Congress carved out a heightened exception based on ethnic and racial preference for Native American tribes via ICWA statutory mandate. So, thus, Native Americans with legacy of being foreign entities with treaty rights incorporated into U.S. territorial integrity automatically assumes greater rights, even though they are now formally American citizens. And this is the crux of the challenge. Constitution grants equal rights for all. So, does the Congress command the authority to supersede, dilute, or heighten certain rights for certain groups of people? We shall see, since we know as a fact, U.S. Supreme Court judicial values evolves with each American generation.